Hi, everyone. Rod Santomassimo, founder of the Massimo Group, the world's #1 coaching organization for commercial real estate brokers. And today I'm going to share with you the ultimate business plan for your brokerage. Yeah, we can create a plan that understands your financial goals and breaks it down to the activities you need to reach those goals. And to do that, we're going to use our Massimo Mobile platform. You can use this on your own. You could create in a quick Excel sheet or a bot in GPT or in Claude, even better, to create this. I'm going to show you the fundamental pieces you need, and then I'll show you a way to get it done on your own. So let's jump into Massimo Mobile. Okay, here we go. We're in Massimo Mobile, and let's look. According to this plan, this is the 2025 plan. We got to jump into 2026 in a second. Again, this is hypothetical information. You may have closed 40 deals, 50 deals, 3 deals, whatever. But in this case, this shows that there was a target of 400,000, but they made $625,000 last year. Congratulations, they blew by their goal. I'll show you how you can do that as well. And then they closed 4 deals overall. The 3 they're targeting 4, they closed 3. I see what the targets are. So I want to create a plan that can take this information, go for 2026, so the year you're in when you watch this, and say, these are the activities I need to create the plan. So let's do this. Let's go to 26. Let's update our plan. Let's go ahead and update the plan for 2026. And first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set a goal. Let me make this a little bigger for you all. I'm going to set a goal. So let's make the goal for 2026. Now look, if I made 625,000 last year, I want to make significantly more, 10%, 20%, but make it realistic. And let's just say, well, I'll tell you what, I'll keep it at $1 million. I'll keep it at $1 million. Everyone wants to get to 7 figures, so let's keep it at 7 figures, and that's the goal. Now, your goal might be $100,000. Your goal might be $10, $20 million. Doesn't matter what your goal is. Understand the mechanism and the approach I take to achieve these goals. Now, there are 3 things I need to understand, 3 things to understand how I get to my goals, and these are really important. The first one is the sales value or lease value, right? The sales price, the average sales price of a deal I do, or the average lease value, the square footage times the rate times the term gives me the lease value, right? What's the average, right? And then I look at how many transactions I need based on the math. The math's simple: 2% average commission, 10 deals of 5 million equals $1 million. That's how this would work. So the key here is you have to understand what your 3 triggers are to reach your goal. Those 3 triggers from a financial perspective are the size of the deal. What's the size of the deal? So let's say I go down to, say, $2.5 million. Okay, let's go to $2.5 million just to make the math work. Obviously, now I need more deals because the commission stayed the same. So I need more deals. Just makes sense. Let's say that I decide, well, let's not do that. Let's that's me crazy. Let's say that I want my average deals are $10 million. Say that they're $10 million. If my average size deal is $10 million, well, then I only need 5 deals. Let's say your commission is 3%. We change that to 3%, then I need 3 deals at $10 million. But most deals in the United States, for most brokers, aren't happening at the $10 million mark. In fact, most deals generally happen around the $2.5 million mark. So I'm gonna keep this at $2.5 million right now, just so we can all say this is what you may be working on. Because again, some of you, if your deals be much larger, maybe 5, 10 million, some of our clients, 100 million, they are. It depends on what you are, right? So let's just say 3% need 13 deals to 2.5 million. In fact, let's make this more realistic. What is your fee? Let's say your fee is 2.5%. Just make that what it is, 2.5%. In fact, let's change this and say your fee is 2.5%. Right, 2.5%. So now I need 16 deals at $2.5 million to make my $1 million goal. That's what it means, right? So just the math. The point here is look at this. Pick your financial goal, then understand how these 3 work in combination. Size of the deal. If you don't know your average size deal, go back to your historical income, all the deals you ever did. What's your average size deal? Now here's the thing. You don't want this to be the same number right here that you did last year. You actually want to increase that. So your target deal might be, in fact, well, I'm going to move it up to at least, let's say $5 million. Let's go $5 million. Okay. So I got $5 million. The average size deal is $5 million. Now at 2.5%, all I need is 8 deals. Understand? So those three numbers, size deal, number of transactions, commissions, that tells you what you need to do to achieve your goal. Now, here's the real secret to this. What I'm not doing is these are 8 overall deals I need to close. I'm going to have some deals in the hopper right now from 2025 that are going to close already. And so I'm only maybe I don't need 8 new deals. I need 8 deals. But if my deals in the hopper are the same size as the 5 million, then I need 8 new $5 million deals. And here's the beauty. What I'm going to do is I'm going to ignore what I already have in the bank. I always do that when I plan. Ignore what you have in the bank. So you're ignoring what you have in 2025 already that's going to close in 2026. I know it sounds crazy, but I want you to ignore it. I want you to set up, of course, a plan of action to achieve a goal based on if you're starting at 0. You're not really starting at 0 unless you're brand new to brokerage. You're not. You already have money in the bank that's going to close in 2026, but I don't want you to include that. Because what's going to happen when you do what I ask, you're going to find out this methodology, you'll make more money, which is the goal, I think, for most brokers. So let's agree that this is what we're going to do. We're going to go and move forward and say, these are the goals we're trying to hit in 2026. I'm going to go after $5 million deals. Yours is different. At 2.5%, yours is different. I need 8 deals to close. The math just works that way. Okay, let's move forward. Okay, so now I know, based on the math, I need 8 deals to close, new deals to close in 2026 to make my $1 million mark at $5 million a deal at 2.5%. So what activities do I need to hone in on to reach that goal? Well, now we go to the annual targets. So here's I'll make this a little bigger so we can all read it, okay? So how many exclusives do I need to achieve my 8 closings? Now, this is really important. You need to know your ratios. We track ratios. What's your ratio of exclusives you have versus exclusives that close? Repeat that. What is your ratio? You should know this, of exclusives you acquire versus exclusives you close. So it's not 100%. Sorry, it's just not, right? I think the best broker in the world right now is Sam McVeigh out of Australia. It's around 94.5%, right? Client of ours, mega producer, and even the amazing GOAT in all brokers, Bob Knackel, he's not hitting 100%. No one hits 100%, right? But is your number 80%? Hopefully it's not lower than that. Is it 50%? What kind of deals are you taking if it is? But so let's say in this case, since I need to close 8 deals and I close at a rate of 80%, I need to get 10 exclusives. I need to get 10 exclusives so I can close 8 deals. Just do the math. It's what it is. Now, you'll see here we have the number of meetings I need to get the 10 exclusives. How many meetings do you need to get 10 exclusives? If you look at this ratio, 10 and 42, let's call it 40 for the heck of it. Call it 40. I'll change that to 40. Yeah, 10 to 40. So what does that mean? That means I have a 1-to-4 ratio. For every 4 meetings, pitches I go on, I secure 1 exclusive. So my hit ratio, my conversion rate is 25%. Again, if you're a seasoned broker, you'll know your conversion ratios. Now, at the minimum, based on almost 20 years of coaching thousands of brokers, you should be at 25%. At the minimum, you should. You should be at 25%. Maybe 20% at the survival rate. If you're less than that, that means your pitch is off. Your offer is off. Something's not working, right? It's not resonating with your audience, and then you need help. But that's just what it is. So I'm saying in this case, let's call it 1 out of 4 of the meetings I go on, I win the exclusive. That's a really important. You have to know that number. So now I know, oh wow, I need to go on 40 meetings to win the 10 exclusives, to close the 8 deals, at the $5 million each at 2.5% commission to make the $1 million overall commission rate. That's what you need. So now the math, it's just math, folks. I think that's the most important part of this video is share with you. It's just math. But you have to understand your conversion ratios. So let's settle in and say, okay, I need 40 meetings. Now, understand, this is something that's really, I think, vital. Is you need 40 meetings to get 10 exclusive to close 8 deals. Now, what it really means, though, is you need those 40 meetings to get those 10 exclusives. you need them not before December 31st, because nothing's going to close. You have to ask yourself, how does it take you to close a deal? Is it 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, right? If it's 12 months, you got to plan for 2027 now. You just do. But let's say it's 6 months. It takes 6 months from exclusive to commission. I get my commission. Exclusive, I got the exclusive, I'm getting my commission. Let's call it 6 months. So if that's the case, those 40 meetings I need all need to happen before June 30th. Just what it is. Because I'm not going to close anything in 2026 that I don't secure before July 1st. Just again, it's the math and the calendar and how it works. So let's break that down. So now I know I need how am I going to get these 40 meetings before June 30th? Well, this is based on the whole calendar year, the weekly prospecting activities. This is number of conversations. Dials completed means you had conversations with qualified prospects that can get a meeting. Conversations lead to meetings. And what this thing is, I need to get 40 meetings over the year term. I need 4 conversations a week. That means, just do the math. Let's do the math. 4 conversations a week, call it 50 weeks, 200 conversations. 200 conversations. I'm going to try to draw this in here so it makes more sense to you. If I need 200 conversations, this equals 200 conversations, okay? If I need 200 conversations to get 40 meetings, again, what's that ratio? That's a 5-to-1 ratio, right? That means for every 5 conversations I have with someone, I get 1 meeting. Is that your conversion ratio? Or is it higher? Because if it's 10-to-1, right? So what does that mean if it's 10-to-1? If it's 10-to-1, that means you need 400 conversations. 400 conversations to get to 40 meetings. So how many conversations do you need to get a meeting? You got to know that number. Go back. If you're in, look, we make sure all our clients track their numbers. If you're not tracking your numbers, you're guessing, you don't know, and you're winging it, that's a hard way to make a living. So let's say it's worst case 10-to-1, 400 conversations. But for now, for these examples, I'm going to say 5-to-1. Again, this is just math. That's why it's so easy in Excel or Google Sheets, whatever your kids use. That's what I would suggest. Okay. So then now I know I need 200 conversations in the year to make the 40 meetings. But here's the thing. I need that over a year. So that means if I condense it to 6 months, I really need 400 conversations times 2, right? In the 6 months, or 8 a week. That's what I need. That number really here tells me I need 8 a week. I need 8 conversations a week because I want to get this all done by June 30th. Again, I'm condensing everything. I need 8 conversations, not dials, conversations. So let's go to dials, right? So based on the 4, I need 21 dials. Again, this ratio would be 5-to-1. That means for every 5 times I dial the phone, I have 1 person pick up of a qualified prospect. I have a conversation. That may not be you. You may be 10-to-1. So let's make this. Excuse me. I can take that out. Let's take that out. I apologize. Maybe that's not you. Maybe you are more of I need 10-to-1. So I in fact need 40 conversations, right? I need 40 conversations to talk to 4 people. If you're 10-to-1, again, do the ratios, that's what it means. So understand these ratios are so important when you recognize what do I need versus where I am. 10-to-1 ratio now, right? So understand that. I know this is getting a little sloppy, but understand the math. So I need 10-to-1. So this is because it all comes down to this number. How many dials do I really need to call, Rod? How many times do I need to dial that phone to get the conversations, to get the meetings, to get the exclusives, to close the deals, to earn my commission? This is the one metric you just got to start out with, right? How many do I need? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clear this all out. Let's clear this all out and make it really simple. So now let's say I need 40 conversations. Let's say it takes you 10 dials to talk to 1 person. And the fact is, if you use a dialer, and most of you should use a dialer, believe it or not, your conversion ratio goes down. You have more quality conversations, but the conversion ratio tends to go down. Historically, that's been proven over all the years. So if you just decline the phone yourself manually, believe it or not, you have a higher connection ratio than because then just the aggregate numbers just drop. So it might be 7%, but 10% is here right now. Hope you're following this. Again, just do the math. So let's say I need 40 conversations, 40 dials every single week. That's what I need, 40 dials every single week. Well, don't forget, I'm condensing this because that assumes I have 50 weeks to close these deals. I don't, or to get these exclusives. I have 50 weeks to get the 10 exclusives from the 40 meetings, right? So the fact is, because this is a year calendar, what I really need to tell myself is, you know what? I'm going to need 80. I'm going to need 80 dials every week. Let's do the math. I need 80 dials every week so I can get the 8. Just disappear on me, but get the 8. I know that disappeared because I moved that up. So I can get the 8 meetings, right? 80 dials every week because this is a 4-to-1 ratio. I'm changing I'm manually changing myself. I need 80 dials every week to get the 8 conversations. I'm now suggesting a 10-to-1 ratio. That's what I need. So that's a 10-to-1. Now, if I need 8 conversations every week, 80 dials a week is easy, by the way. 80 dials a week is no problem. 80 dials a week, think about it. What is that? If you do 4 days, that's 20 a day, right? 20 a day? You can do that in an hour, hour and a half every day. Yes, get back to the one fundamental metric. This is why you make the calls, to get the conversations. So let's do the math here and we go all the way back now. So in this ultimate business plan, we haven't gotten through your presence initiatives yet, but in your business, I'm going to have 80 conversations. I'm going to have 80 conversations a week. Sorry, I apologize. I'm going to ask you to get 80 attempted dials a week. 80 attempted dials a week at a minimum. Some of you do much more. Some of you should not do less. You should not do less. To get the 8 conversations a week. 80 dials, 8 conversations, right? To get over my time frame, the 40 meetings I'm going to need in the first 6 months. That's why I'm doing this, because I need in the first 6 months to get those meetings at 4-to-1 ratio to get those 10 exclusives, to close those 8 deals at 2.5% at $5 million a deal for $1 million commission year. That's what we're saying here. So again, I know I'm repeating this again and again and again, but I want you to clearly understand why the numbers matter. Okay? So those are the prospecting numbers. Those are the prospects. So let's talk about the presence numbers. So presence numbers matter too. What are you doing as far as getting known? Now, these numbers are not based on any specific calculation, but I'm going to give you the exact metrics we find make the most money. Okay? So the first thing you want to do is work on your personal activities. Those are meetings, small groups, large groups. Again, these are presence meetings. These are marketing meetings. These are conferences. These are lunches with influencers, architects, attorneys, engineers, contractors, everyone, right? Here's what we found. Those individuals that go on 2 or 3 meetings a week make the most money. Repeat that. 2 or 3 presence meetings. These are not prospecting meetings. Prospecting meetings are working with prospects. Presence meetings are working with influencers. 2 to 3. Those clients that go on more than 3 tend to make less money. Why? Why do you think that? Wait, I'm getting out there everywhere. I'm getting to know everybody. Well, what you're not doing is asking for business. You're becoming famous, but you're not building a fortune. So understand that as well. That's really important. So again, for you all, 2 or 3 personal meetings a week. Monthly physical activities, believe it or not, I want you to do one. Just one physical mailing. Physical mailing. Note cards, gifts, books, magazines, specific ways you do market reports. We're not getting into today, but just one a week to your top 100 influencers. These people you don't know, right? But they influence the market. You might know some of them, but most of them you won't. to your top 100 influencers. That's what I mean. And finally, digital. I know this is gonna really skew some of you. I'm gonna say you need to do five every single week. 5 weeks. Let me make it as small as you can see it. There you go. Five every single week. I mean that every day you are posting on social media, sending out emails, video vlogs, whatever, and that's to everybody. Every single day. Now there's a cadence for that. There's certain things you can do every day, different themes you can do, but that's where the fame will happen. But it will supply your prospecting, because what you don't want to do is you do not want to prospect. You do not want to prospect without a presence. Because if you do, you're making cold calls, and we don't believe in cold calls. So Rod, why does all these numbers matter? What's the key? And here's the key. If you look at all the metrics, you look at your target, look at your targets, look at your metrics, believe it or not, everything, and I mean everything, comes down to a couple of things. And that are these key elements. See, here's the key, folks, that I think people forget about. Every activity you do has a value. It does. Because most activities will have zero value in your mind, but in fact, it's another step forward. So for example, every dial you make during this year with the goals and metrics we set on this example, in this case, would be worth $260. Does that give you incentive to pick up the phone and make calls? You know, whether they voicemail, they don't answer, they tell you never call again, or you have a conversation, every dial you attempt is worth $260. Some of you, it's going to be worth more. Some of you would be worth less, but it's worth something. Every conversation you have, $2,600. Every conversation you have on the phone, it takes you a step closer, is worth to you, based on activity metrics, $2,600. Every appointment you go on, right? Again, those 40 appointments and everything else, right? And that you're going to do over the year, $23,000. This is just math, folks. It's straight math. But the point of this is, say, once you create this ultimate plan of where you want to grow and what you want to do, you'll hit your target. You'll hit your target. So now we know everything we need to do to get to the goals you want to get. And again, your goal in this hypothetical situation is $1 million at 2.5% at $5 million a deal. Those three numbers right there, again, we go back to the first step, they impact everything. Everything. So you have to know what my average size deal is going to be, how many deals I need to do, how much commission I'm going to command. That's the right word. One thing before I let you go, the average size deal is critical. The average size deal will be the telltale sign to how well you grow your commission dollars. While this is a variable, it's really in your control. If you're just working on smaller deals right now, if you're working on less than $1 million deals, $2 million deals, you absolutely can work on $5 million, $10 million deals. You absolutely can. It's just you have to target those with your messaging, right? And your prospecting efforts. Just target clients that can get you bigger deals. That's how you start doing it. And that, folks, is the ultimate business plan. Okay, so there you have it. That's your business plan fundamentals. It all breaks down to your income goal, the size of deals you're going after, the commission rate you average, the average as far as number of deals you need to do. That's all going to be calculated. But here's the cool news. We built it out for you. Yes, there's a widget down below. Use that widget to figure out your numbers, right? Track your numbers for who you are, create your own business plan, get the activity metrics going. You can play with those yourself, determine what you need to do to move your business forward. And of course, if we can help in any way, always available for you at massimo-group.com. Enjoy the widget, make the business plan, make this your best CRE broker year yet. Take care.